Forever could never be long enough for me to feel like I've had long enough with you. Forget the world now, we won't let them see. But there's one thing left to do. Now that the weight has lifted, love has surely shifted my way. Marry me today and every day. Marry me. If I ever get the nerve to say hello in this cafe, say you will. Say you will. Together could never be close enough for me to feel like I am close enough to you. You wear white and I wear out the words I love you, and you're beautiful. Now that the wait is over and love has finally showed her my way. Marry me today and every day. Marry me. If I ever get the nerve to say hello in this cafe, say you will. Say you will. Promise me you'll always be happy by my side. I promise to sing to you when all the music dies. And marry me today and every day. Marry me. If I ever get the nerve to say hello in this cafe, say you will. Say you will. Marry me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Good. Have you said hello to one another?
Yep.
Good. That's good. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, bride and groom, good afternoon and welcome to Warbrook House on this very special day for Jay and Steffi. If I may take a moment for some introductions, my name is Phil Dunford and I have the privilege of guiding this couple through their declarations and vows. My colleague is Denise Powell. She has the responsibility for effecting the legal record of this marriage and for creating your marriage certificate. We are both registrars for Hampshire, and it's our pleasure to join you here today on this very special and joyous occasion. You are all here today as you are all important to this couple, each of you playing a special part in the life of one or both of them. Steffi and Jay, you're making a little bit of history here today, as when the ceremony is over and the marriage register has been signed, it will be returned to the vault, and when completed, we'll join all the other birth, death and marriage registers in Winchester, dating back to 1837. These registers give us a very good insight into life over the last 180 years, and today you become part of that story, part of that rich history. The civil marriage ceremony is the exchange of vows by means of two declarations. In their first declaration, Steffi and Jay will state that they are free to marry. And in the second, they will make their marriage vows to each other. Before we continue, it's required that both state their full names to everyone gathered here. So if we can have your full name, sir.
James Warren.
Thank you, and a lovely bride.
Stephanie Rita Annett.
Thank you, so we've got the right people here. I now ask, who gives this bride in marriage? Do come forward, sir. Come around to this side. Come and join us up here. And if you'd like to take your daughter's left hand, pass it across into the hand of her groom. That's it. Just wait there a moment. Marriage tradition in many parts of the world gives the opportunity for a family member to escort the bride to the wedding ceremony. And in this ceremony today, Les has upheld that tradition by escorting his daughter Steffi to join Jay as an expression of his best wishes for their future happiness together. For that, so we thank you. Thank you. The place in which you are now met has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriages, and we are all gathered here today to witness the joining in marriage of these two people. Jay and Steffi, before you are joined in matrimony, I have to remind you of the solemn and binding character of the vows you are about to make. Marriage in this country means the union of two people voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. But further, it's a solemn union to provide the love and friendship, help and comfort that each of you will have for the other, to support each other through the joys and sorrows of life. Marriage calls for trust and honesty, understanding and forgiveness, and sometimes the need for compromise or to say sorry. I'm looking right between the two of you. It is not to be entered into lightly or to be lightly put aside. If anyone present knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, they should declare it now. Now, laughter doesn't count. Otherwise, I think that's as quiet as they'll be all day. I can see this marriage is going to be filled with a lot of laughter. In a moment, I shall invite you to stand to support this couple as they make their marriage vows. But if standing is difficult for you, please feel comfortable to remain seated. But if you would like to, will you now please stand? So the first of these vows, you'll be facing me. You'll have to declare yourselves free to marry. And the second, I'd like you to turn to face one another to make a marriage promise to one another. But when you do, don't fall off the step. I now have to ask each of you in turn, solemnly and truthfully, to declare that there is no lawful reason why you should not be married to each other. So Jay, I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
That I know not.
That I know not.
of any lawful impediment,
why I, James Warren, may not be joined in matrimony
to Stephanie, Rita and Ed.
Thank you.
And now turn Steffi. I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Stephanie, Rita and Ed may not be joined in matrimony to James Warren. Marriage is not only a legal contract, but a promise made in the hearts of two people. And to make those promises now, would you turn to face one another? You're ahead of me in joining hands, and that's good. You're making these promises now to one another. So once again, Jay, I'll ask you to repeat after me. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, James Warren, do take thee, Stephanie, Rita and Ed, to be my lawful wedded wife. Stephanie. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I... Go on. To witness that I... Stephanie, Rita and Ed, do take thee, James Warren, to be my lawful wedded husband. Perfect, well done. You're so eager to say those words. Marvellous. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Well done, you two. It's lovely. Lovely enthusiasm you have for each other. It's wonderful. We have now come to the exchange of rings, which is the ancient and traditional way of sealing the contract you have made. The ring is an unbroken circle, which symbolises unending and everlasting love, and is the outward sign of the promises you are making to each other here today. So I'd like to invite our best man Andy to come forward, please, with the first of those rings. So Jen, if you just turn, okay, and take Steffi's ring. Right, now pop that part way onto her finger, which is clearly marked. And holding it there, repeat after me. I give you this ring as a symbol of our marriage and a token of our love. Wear it and know that I am always by your side.
Thank you.
Now, easy with it. Perfect, doesn't that look good? Now, do you want to move your engagement ring?
Yeah.
I always encourage this because these two rings should be together. There, doesn't that look lovely? Sparkling. Marvellous. And now I'd like to invite our best man Dave to come forward, please. So Steffi, if you'd like to take Jay's ring. Excellent. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. So pop that part way onto his finger. Excellent. And holding it there, repeat after me. I give you this ring as a symbol of our marriage and a token of our love. Wear it and know that I'm always by your side.
Wear it and know that I'm always by your side.
Thank you. Let these rings remain a symbol of your love and a reminder of the promises you have made here today. Cherish the love you have for each other, because the greatest gift is to know that we travel not alone, but in the company of others, that there are hands that we can reach for and hearts to keep us warm. Before I pronounce you married partners, I've just one more thing I want you to do. Your wedding day is one that seems to fly. It's a day filled with emotion, friends, rings, dances. Many people, I'm sure many people here will remember how fleeting their own wedding day was. So I want you to take a few seconds to face one another, look into each other's eyes, and think about the happiness that you're feeling in this moment, and really let that feeling register in your heart and mind. And now I want you to think about your life in 20 years. Where are you? What are you doing? We all know that your visions of the future are not identical, but always complementary. It was once said, a dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together, that is reality. And that new reality starts now. The vows you have made today are those required by law, and you have made a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of your witnesses, your family, and your friends. So now, Jay, I ask, do you promise to love, comfort, and protect Steffi, to listen patiently, speak the truth, and to support and care for her, no matter what the future may bring?
I do.
Steffi, do you promise to love, comfort and protect Jay, to listen patiently, speak the truth, and to support and care for him, no matter what the future may bring?
I do.
May the vows on your lips today live forever in your hearts. It's now my great pleasure and privilege to tell you that from this day forward you are indeed now married to one another as husband and wife, and whilst we congratulate you in the usual way, why don't you seal the contract with a kiss?
Today this could be the greatest day of our lives. Before it all ends, before we run out of time, stay close to me, stay close to me. Watch the world come alive tonight. Stay close to me. Tonight this could be the greatest night of our lives. Let's make a new start. The future is ours to find. Can you see it? Can you see it in my eyes? Can you feel it now? Can you hold it in your arms tonight? Oh, stay close to me. Hold on, stay close to me. Watch the world come alive tonight. Stay close to me. Hold your head high. Hold on, arms open wide. Yeah, the world starts to come alive when you stay close to me. Today this could be the greatest day of our lives. Today this could be the greatest day of our lives. Oh, and the world comes alive, and the world comes alive, and the world comes alive. Oh, 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 stay close to me. Hold on, stay close to me. Watch the world come Your lipstick stains on the front lobe of my left side brains. I knew I wouldn't forget you, and so I went and let you blow my mind. Your sweet moonbeam, the smell of you in every single dream I dream. I knew when we collided, you're the one I have decided who's one of my kind. Hey soul sister, ain't that Mr. on the radio? Stereo, the way you move ain't fair, you know. Hey soul sister, I don't wanna miss a single thing you do tonight. Hey, 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 just in time. I'm so glad you have a one-track mind like me. You gave my life direction, a game show love connection we can't deny. I'm so obsessed. My heart is bound to beat right out my untrimmed chest. I believe in you like a virgin, your Madonna.
Now spend the rest of his life known only as Percy. Someone that Steph says she couldn't live without. Would you please welcome Mr. Dan Ayres. We now have today's joint best men, organisers of Jay's Snack Do, and overall good guys for the bride and bridegroom of the speech. Would you welcome Andy Reynolds and Dave Summers. Time now for a bit of glamour. The organisers of Steph's Hen Do and Steph's Bridesmaids, Mrs. Shannon Hobbs, something strict tonight, and the soon-to-be Mrs. Hobbs, but for now, just Miss Maria Marley. Please welcome the bridesmaids. When you think you have a best friend, you can't get better than this. The main organiser of Steph's Hen Do, maid of honour, Miss Lauren Lee. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, will you all please stand? Would you welcome the people without whom none of us would be here today? Bride and bridegroom, Steph and James. silence for grace. For good food, good wine, and good company, for the marriage of Steph and James, we give thanks to God. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please now be seated? And gentlemen, you now have the bride's permission to remove your jackets if you so wish.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. And when Steph said that she's fixed a date for a wedding, she said to me that I had to make a speech, which I don't like doing. And she said I had to say nice things. And I did turn around and say to Steph at the time that I couldn't think of any. But to be quite honest, it's just too many to mention with Steph. To me, she's a fantastic daughter, and I wouldn't sort of do without her. And when we sort of went in this morning, the thing, we both ended up in tears. Yeah, it's not easy to do it, really. And I've got to admit how fantastic she looks today. The same as all the bridesmaids as well, which I'm quite sort of pleased, and they really helped me as well. Because Steph said I had to be there at 11, 11:45, I'm still waiting. And I wasn't allowed in there. But Steph has had a heart of gold ever since she was a kid. Even when she was a kid, if her brother wanted a toy or anything like that, Steph would be up. She'd go and get her brother the toy and take it to him and go and sit back down, and she'd do that time after time. She would do it time after time. And she's always grown up to be the same. And, you know, she's been through bad times, good times, the same as the rest of us. But she is an amazing lady, and I'm so proud of her as a daughter to be able to do this for her. And I said to her that I'll do the best I can without mucking it up. So I'm honoured to be able to sort of do this for Steph. And Jay, I would like to thank for making Steph, because I've seen how they've been going, and I would like to thank Jay for making my daughter so happy to see her now compared to what she was a few years ago, and I am well pleased to say that. And I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank Jay and welcome him to the family.
Thanks, mate.
That's all right, mate. You've worked.
Good, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that none of the guys up here are looking forward to speaking today. You know, public speaking, nobody likes doing that. It's a difficult thing to do, but not nearly as difficult as trying to convince these guys to wear blue suits and flowery ties.
Well, happy in leather, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You can take that how you want it.
Today wouldn't be possible without Steph. I would love to take all the credit, but you know I'd be lying. I haven't done as much as I possibly could, but Steph has loved every second of this, and you know, everything she's done, she's made this whole day possible. So a quick round of applause to Steph. Please make sure your glasses are all topped up. Plan is to get you all so drunk you forget how bad this speech was. I've actually been really nervous about doing it, mainly because of what Steph would do to me if I messed it up. Alright, okay. Firstly, on behalf of my wife and thanks for coming. Mrs. Stephanie Warren. Is she gorgeous? Yeah, she's gorgeous. Today is the best day of our lives, and it really wouldn't be the same without you all, though it would be considerably cheaper. Some of you have travelled a long way to be here. We've got Rob, come down from Scotland. And Crazy Dave, all the way from Israel. Having you all together in the same place means the world to us. We love you all, and we're so grateful you could share in our special day. Thank you for your thoughtful gifts. We'll take time out to thank you all personally after the honeymoon. I want to thank my dad for raising a fantastic son. You and Pippa have welcomed Steph into the family, and you've always been supportive. You've done so much for us, the list is truly endless. I just hope that all the free tech support over the years has gone some way towards repaying the favour. You've been a perfect role model for me growing up. The way you have loved and treated your family is the way I hope to love and treat my own one day. Brilliant. You're a great friend, father, and I love you. Les, you are the most humble man I know. You've been an amazing dad to Steph and Dan, and now me. Thank you for being an on-call decorator over the years, and for always putting right my shoddy decorating mistakes. I now know that you can't use masking tape to hang wallpaper. Thank you for being so eager to give your daughter away, perhaps a little too eager. I remember being so nervous when I first asked for her hand in marriage. Your initial reaction was, pardon? Which completely threw me. I wasn't sure if I'd crossed the line or you'd left your hearing aid at home. But luckily, I said it again, this time with a little less confidence, and you heard me, and you were more than happy to welcome me into your family. And so happy, in fact, the first thing you did was grab Steph and go for a dance. And they shared a father-daughter dance, and Steph was a little confused afterwards, and I was convinced you gave the game away. Thank you for walking Steph down the aisle and for not tripping her up. I also want to thank Steph's brother Percy for being today's usher. I don't think we've lost anybody. No? Good job. You've been there for her unconditionally, through thick and thin, and I know she can't thank you enough for continuously having her back. By the way, Percy's real name is Dan. Percy's actually the name of his genitals. I'd like to thank my beautiful mother-in-law, Debbie, for your warmth, hospitality, and amazing sense of humour over the years. I know if Steph gets her sense of humour from anybody, it's got to be you. You've always been there when she's needed it, and been the one to put a smile back on her face when she needed it. Bridesmaids. Right. Steph and I give special thanks to our wonderful maid of honour and bridesmaids. You all look incredible. And thanks for organising a perfect hen do, even if she can't remember half the Friday night. Thank you for helping Steph with the difficult decision-making tasks, like what shoes to wear, stuff like that. Thanks for being the best friends any girl can ask for. Best men. I chose 2 best men, not because I didn't trust either of them to do a good job, and not because I'm indecisive or greedy. Not because I'm indecisive or greedy. I chose 2 best men because I'm lucky to have 2 best mates, and you've both been the world to me. Dave, he's the grumpiest man I know. But he's always been there for me. About 6 years ago, I found myself without a place to live. And it was tough times, but when Dave found out, he offered me a spare room. It didn't matter that people actually lived there at the time. He kicked them out and put me in there. A few months after moving in, I met Steph. We'd arranged to go on a blind date, and I didn't have a car at the time. Dave knew how excited I was, and so he lent me his car for the night. And then every night for about a month, just so I could spend some time with her. I will never forget how you've been there for me over the years. You've always been a great friend. Andy, right? You've made me laugh for over 10 years, man. There is no one I trust more than you. Thank you for being my best man. Putting up with me, always being on the phone to Steph. About 4 weeks after me and Steph first met, me and Andy were travelling around Thailand. And if I'm honest, it was an amazing trip. But being completely honest, I was on my phone way too much to Steph. Even going so far as to refuse to eat in a restaurant unless they have Wi-Fi. Andy knew how much I liked her, so he didn't give me too much shit about it. We had some fantastic adventures over the years, travelling, training, working together, and the next journey for us both is marriage. You both did a great job in the stag, and I know Steph's especially grateful for you bringing me back, relatively unharmed. Thanks, Steph. I met Steph in 2012 on an online dating site. Well, let's be honest. We got on so well that we decided to go on a date, and I picked her up in Dave's car. I went for a cheeky Nando's. Classic guy, aren't I? I remember when we first met, she looked so glamorous and attractive, and my first thought was, man, what depth. I was so nervous. Even got managed to get lost driving around Reading. I know it's smooth, right? We chatted and realised we had a lot of friends in common. We'd even been out on the same nights we'd ever met. That night we chatted for hours, and somehow I managed to make it through the entire day without messing it up. Although I do remember being so engrossed in conversation, at one point I slipped in a massive puddle and splashed up her leg. She called me a doofus for the rest of the night. To my surprise, she wanted to see me again, and we've been pretty much inseparable ever since. We've gone on to build a fantastic life together, and today we commit the rest of our lives to each other. I'm sure that one day, in the not too distant future, we'll hear the pitter-patter of tiny little feet throughout the house. That's right, Steph will convince me to get another dash hand. Steph brings me so much love, happiness, and I knew very early on that she was one for me. I wanted to be with her for the rest of my life, and she is perfect, and I feel like the luckiest man alive. Thank you, Steph. You're a beautiful person, amazing friend, and I will love you forever and ever. Never change, you're perfect. Throughout today, I keep hearing Mr. and Mrs. Warren. When I hear that, I think of my dad, my nan and granddad, Mary and Donald, who were married for over 50 years. I think of my mum and my dad, who were married for over 27 years. I remember how happy they were and the love they shared. Sadly, my mum is no longer with us, but she continues to be the most influential person in my life. She was a strong, funny, caring person who always put her family first, above all else. I will love and honour her memory for the rest of my life. It's a shame she didn't get the chance to meet Steph, but I know they would have been the best of friends. Please raise your glasses for the new Mrs. Warren. Mrs. Warren. Before I hand over to the best man, I'd like to point out that Dave likes to drink, and Annie's been hitting her head a lot over the years. As a result, it's affected her ability to factually and actually recount stories about me.
It's an important day in his life, although truthfully this speech has had me very worried. So I went online and started doing some research for ideas. The internet is a magical place for material, but none of it which actually helped me watch it. My research did tell me that my speech should involve some humorous stories about the Groom's experience. There you go. Truthfully, I had a bit of trouble here, not because James hasn't done anything embarrassing. 90% of it isn't fit for consumption. There was a late night drunken bicycle games when he was so drunk he couldn't realise if he was coming or going. The time that he turned my living room balcony into a salt course of shopping trolleys and tyres and you name it. And I actually lost where I am now.
Everyone's doing it.
Yeah. And not forgetting the time when he actually managed to move Steffi into my flat for 6 months, persuading me every day that she didn't actually live there. Knowing most of you today here probably wondering what does Steffi see in James? I've known him for a long time, to be fair. I don't have a clue. When I was trying to get a theme for my speech, I asked some people to describe James. Witty, passionate, charismatic. Yeah, that one. I did write this, but generous. Not a single word that any of your friends said. He was, however, described as arrogant, insensitive, and selfish. Personally, Denise, I think that was a bit harsh. I should explain how I got here standing here today. James and I have known each other for a little over 15 years now. And let me tell you, the transformation I've witnessed has been nothing short of a miracle. Seriously, he used to be a nice guy. I was going to tell you a tale of James's athletic prowess. Most of our teenage years were spent on the basketball courts, kicking a ball about, just shooting some hoops. He really loved his basketball, but to be honest, he was pretty rubbish in all the positions. Hopefully you have a bit better luck tonight, Steffi. On a more serious note, I value James and Steffi's friendship immensely, and they've always been there for me whenever my family and myself and everyone else needs it. Something we should bear in mind is that marriage is not about finding someone you can live with, it's about finding someone you absolutely cannot live without. I didn't really get the whole best man thing, but I think now I understand that there really isn't any person who could stand where I am now and be as proud as you both are. Ladies and gentlemen, I for once couldn't be happier that James and Steffi have found real love and happiness in each other, and I wish them many wonderful years together. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for Mr. and Mrs. Warren. And by the way, James has said if you could all hand your Groupon vouchers in on the way out. Nice fun,
Right, get you in order. Hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Andy, James's long-time mentor and wingman. And it's such an honour and a pleasure to be here today as one of James's best men. I am beyond grateful that I get to share in this moment with you and Steph. And I would like to thank everyone for coming today and sharing this special time with the happy couple. Also, James has told me the cost per head for this amazing meal. So on the bride and groom's behalf, I'd also like to thank all the people who didn't come. Right, now to say a few words about James. James is handsome, he's clever, he's witty, he's generous, he's charismatic.
Charismatic, I can read that one. I've got it.
Anyway, me and James have known each other for a long time, and our friendship was forged through countless hours chatting complete nonsense, working security on various pubs and clubs. A job that knowing your mate has got your back is never more important. Whether it's throwing out fighting travellers or fighting off horny middle-aged women, there's no one I'd rather have by my side than my best mate, James. Now, working on the door, we used to use various radio codes to signal various imminent situations. So code orange might be a heated argument, code red, it might be kicking off. But James's personal favourite was code brown. It's nothing racist, but I'm certain he always made an effort to hold it in so he could get paid to poo at work.
Code brown.
And I think from that moment, this was the one from him. Even after only knowing him for a matter of weeks, even though he was only the other side of the world, she already had the untamable tamed under the thumb, and that's surely. It was obvious to everyone just how smitten he was with her. They talk about a bride's glow, but this man, he was beaming since the moment he met Steph. It changed for the better without even realising it, and we could all see it. Now, this probably wasn't the most comfortable 5 minutes for you, Jay. But spare a thought for Steph and the uncomfortable 5 minutes you're going to give her later. As best man, I think I need to give some advice now. I'm not married yet, but what I can tell you, and this sounds simple, but this works for me and Belle, a 10-second hug can work miracles, mate. Whether you're arguing or just having a down day, don't neglect putting your arms around each other and holding each other, and somehow, as if by magic, everything feels a lot better. So that's my advice. If in doubt, hug it out. Right. Now, Steph, can I just say how stunning you look today, and all the bridesmaids? And getting to know you over the years, I found you to be funny, kind-hearted, and an absolute ray of sunshine. you've softened my big gorilla of a best mate into a gooey little puppy. And it fills my heart with joy to see Jay so happy. I'm so glad you found each other and wish you both all the happiness and the love in the world. Now, if you'd all join me in raising a glass, here's to James and Steph. May they enjoy a lifetime of love and happiness. James and Steph. That's it, done.
One of the things that I wanna say just aren't coming out right. I'm tripping on words, you got my head spinning. I don't know where to go from here. 'Cause there's you and me and all other people, nothing to do, nothing to prove. And that's you and me and all other people, and I don't know why I can't keep my eyes off of you. Something about you now I can't quite figure out. Everything she does is beautiful. Everything she does is right. 'Cause there's you and me and all other people, nothing to do, nothing to lose. And there's you and me and all other people, and I don't know.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we now have very great pleasure in inviting the bride and the bridegroom to cut their wedding cakes here. Of course, you're welcome to take your pictures, but please don't get in the way of the official photographer and the videographer until they've taken their pictures. There'll be plenty of time for you to take your pictures once the official photos have been taken. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, the bride and the bridegroom will now cut their wedding cake.
Cut me a real face.
Shove it in there now.
Right, we've only got 5 real men here. I'm sure we can get a few more.
Here we go, husband.
Tell me that you want me, and I'll be yours completely, for better or for worse. I know we'll have our disagreements, be fighting for no reason. I wouldn't change it for the world. 'Cause I knew the first day that I met you, I was never gonna let you slip away. And I still remember feeling nervous, trying to find the words to get you here today. You make my heart feel like it's summer when the rain is pouring down. You make my whole world feel so right when it's wrong. Yes, I know you are the one. That's why I know you are the one. Ooh, ooh, ooh. together making